This is Dave at TitleSearch.com and AFX Title. A lot of times when a title search is performed, there's a particular reason behind it that is the solution that a client's looking for. Sometimes it's for a mortgage loan, sometimes it's for a closing. There's a significant difference when a search is for funding of something that the client is waiting on. An SBA or Small Business Association or Administration, Small Business Administration title search is one of those examples. The Small Business Administration has a mechanism set up to fund relief when there's been a natural disaster. Even though the SBA was set up originally to fund loans for small businesses to expand their operations, since that government setup was already arranged, the disaster management parts of the government, such as FEMA and other divisions, use that process to get money to people that have been part of a natural disaster. And the way it works is this. Let's say your house is destroyed or damaged in a natural disaster like a hurricane. FEMA will go to the victim and say, look, we're going to give you a small business loan to fund repair of this property. And there may be terms and conditions that they don't have to pay that back. If they stay in their home for a certain period of time and they use the property in a certain way, that loan may be forgiven at some point 5 or 10 years down the road. But in order to get that funding, the homeowner has to verify with the SBA, with the federal government, that they, number one, own the property, that they're the legal owner, and number two, that that SBA loan has been recorded properly on the property. So the way it works is the government will send them the loan paperwork, regular loan contract like a mortgage. The homeowner will sign the documentation and actually have to show it being recorded on the title first before they get funding. So the SBA will require that the homeowner and the victim sends in a copy of their deed, a copy of the recorded loan, and a acceptable title search from a title research firm showing all that stuff being active on the title. So there's a checklist that you go through. You send all these things into the SBA, and then they fund their loan. So a homeowner and a client will contact a title company to get a title search. That title company needs to make sure that first, that the title search they're doing matches the requirements of that SBA contract, of that SBA process. So take a look at the checklist. If the client doesn't provide it, make sure that you get that from the homeowner, what they need, what they're looking for, what format it needs to be in. That's another critical element of it, is it has to be in a certain format. If possible, get that description of that format so you don't just send in a standard title search and have it be kicked back from the government. Important thing is, this property owner is waiting on funds. Their house may be destroyed. They may be living in a motel. They may have other urgent financial needs. So the sooner that all of these checklist items can get back to the government and the SBA, the faster that they can get their money. So as a professional title examiner or certified title searcher, in addition to getting the search done, it's critical to take out any small sections of time you can to get this client their money as fast as possible. Money is waiting on your paperwork, so make sure it's correct the first time. A few other things to look at is triple check the legal description, because there's many instances where a legal description can have a small typo, a letter, a digit. Instead of 1/2 corner, it might say 1/4 corner. Make sure that all the legal descriptions on the deeds, on the mortgages, even on that SBA loan, all match up properly, because somebody at the SBA will match all those up. And along the lines, if some title company, attorney, lending company, anybody made one small typo, it's going to kick back that paperwork. So as a title searcher, take that extra step. Look at those documents for the client to make sure everything is good. Even if it is beyond the scope of what you really only need to do for a search, making sure that you help work them through the process can help get that property owner their funds faster and get their urgent issues of housing settled in a much quicker format. So going beyond what you need to do as a title searcher can really help the client in those cases. An SBA title search may be requested. You may not have any reason to believe it's something different than just a small business owner getting a loan, but being aware that this process is used for natural disaster resolution can help you work with that client to get their needs met faster.